Mo.
Hey, buddy.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
It's been a while, no?
It has been a while, yeah, a few years now. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming.
I
You're
really-
a celebrity now.
I'm not. I am
Not yet.
someone starting out. Just
Too
starting out.
modest. Very modest.
No, honestly, thanks for reaching out. Thanks for having me. I love what you're doing. I caught a bunch of your interviews and your content of what you've done, and it's always a nice break. Doing what you do gives it a fun element, of what to do with your kids, what to do with your family. So I enjoy watching it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And equally, I like your podcast.
Thank you
It's
so
called
much.
The Mo Show.
The Mo Show, yeah.
Right. And before we talk a little bit about The Mo Show and who Mo is, if you haven't yet, please check out our channel at SkipyDoo on Instagram and our YouTube. And to check out Mo, which is The Mo Show.
So it's at on Instagram, it's at _Mo Show,
Right?
and at _themoshow.com for the
website.
website. Yeah, but
Right.
hopefully you'll just add all those
All those, yes.
on the
We
link.
will add that in
Yeah.
a link or somewhere in the pop-up. Yes, somewhere here. You're on YouTube and Spotify.
Yeah, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. And we just launched our website 3 days ago.
Which is pretty cool.
So,
I checked it out.
So everything
You
is
should-
on it. Yeah.
Everything is there.
Yeah.
All right. So let's start. We have a lot to talk about,
Yeah.
and we're going to cram it in. But the
Great.
first thing we have to talk about is the Boston Celtics.
you caught me at a very sensitive time right
The
now.
Boston Celtics.
I was worried that question was going to come up when you had that ball in your
I
hand.
know. But here's the question, right? Now, I'm going to ask you some Boston Celtic trivia, right? But before we go into that, tell us why the Boston Celtics.
Why the Boston-
You're a diehard fan. It's not like
I am. I am.
You're not like a pass-by.
I'm a diehard fan. It started in 2000
Okay.
when I moved to New Hampshire. I did a couple of years in high school there. Fell in
Okay.
love with the game.
Which high school was
I
that?
was in Tilton in
Okay.
New Hampshire, about an hour north of Boston.
Right?
And I loved the game so much. And as you know, basketball comes at the end of the soccer semester.
Yes.
And I wanted to get involved with the varsity team in some capacity. I
The
wasn't
basketball.
the basketball team, so
Okay.
the number one team in school,
Right.
which was called the varsity team.
Right?
And I wanted to get involved in some capacity. I wasn't good enough to play, so I decided to become the manager. So
Okay.
keeping score. So like a guy from each team would have to keep score in the middle, like where the referees come to every
Wow.
couple of minutes to say, okay, foul on this guy, or this guy scored, or this guy's ejected. So I'd keep the score for our team. So I was involved in the sport for 4 months out of the year, every year.
Wow.
Obviously, New Hampshire being an hour's drive away from Boston, the Celtics were the local team. And any game that they're playing on is available on the free channels that I'd get in my dorm.
Okay.
So I fell in love with Paul Pierce at the time,
The truth.
and the Truth, and
Yeah.
Antoine Walker. And even back then, they had a crazy run against the Nets in the conference finals. They were down 24 points going into the fourth. Down 24 points going to the fourth. That's like 90-66. Game is over, right?
It is.
And they came back and they beat the Nets.
And that was when Jason Kidd was running the
Jason
show.
Kidd,
right?
Jason Kidd. And they beat the Nets. And
yeah.
so I fell in love with the team back then. And here you are 20 years later, and just in love, with the name on the front than I was with any name on the back, like, Tatum, for example, or Jaylen Brown today. They really carry the team well, and they represent the Celtics brand and the organization so well that I'm glad to say that even after 20 years, I'm still into it as I was.
So just, for those who like basketball, you know what Mo is talking about. And for those who don't, the Celtics had a terrible run from 2000 until 2006, was it?
Yeah.
Or 7?
Yeah.
Until you got KG.
The problem is that you know your history in basketball, so there's no way I can pull a quick one on you. Yeah. Every time Celtics win or lose, no, bless this guy, because whenever we do well, I'll hear from him. When we do bad, it's hard luck. He's such a good fan, as opposed to some of the guys that give me a bit of grief when my team loses.
Well, I don't have a leg to stand on. I'm a Knicks fan, so there's nothing,
Probably
there's
why.
nothing I can do or say
Yeah.
at all.
Most of my friends are glory hunters and Laker fans.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they
probably
really
now
give it to me.
they're like
Oh,
amazing,
yeah,
right?
they're out of the
Or they went to
woodwork right
Clippers
now.
and back to Lakers.
Yeah.
So, Celtics, Mo.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Celtics in the past since you started?
Paul Pierce.
The truth.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely.
The truth.
It was Paul Pierce. I grew up watching him, from 2000 when I moved there up until when did he leave? 2012.
Yeah.
You know, I watched him by himself carry the franchise through some very difficult years. You know, 2006, I think we won 20 games.
Yeah.
2007 came when we recruited KG and Ray Allen, and
You won
we won it that year, but it was the best season turnaround ever. I think we went from 22 or 23 to 66 wins.
That's true.
And there's never been that,
Swing.
That kind of swing that's happened in any NBA franchise. So it was nice to see that even, in his darkest days over there, he obviously was frustrated, but he stuck with it.
He did stick with it. He did stick with it.
And that's why when he won Finals MVP and he put it up in the air and you can see him crying, like I felt it because that day was, he probably never thought that day would come, let alone in a Celtics jersey.
Yeah, he was on some very difficult teams.
He was.
Like for so long.
And this guy.
It's true.
Yeah.
For so long.
He didn't have the help that like KG said, my only regret in my career
is not meeting Paul Pierce.
Earlier. Yes. Yeah, coming earlier than wasting some years in
Minnesota.
And one of the reasons why Anthony Davis left the setup he had in New Orleans.
It's because of.
And went to LA because he had an eye and like he took in what KG said that don't waste your time in
carrying
in a useless team.
Yeah.
You're good enough, link up, you need another guy as good as you. And the Lakers are, probably most likely going to win the playoffs this year.
Well, we would have loved, a Celtics Lakers.
I know, that would have been good for the league.
Right?
Yeah. But I think we're one piece away from that.
So now, before we shift from basketball, you got some really cool talent in Tatum, right? Who I really like. He's probably one of the pick of it probably is the pick of that draft, right?
Yeah.
Not Lonzo Ball, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, LeVar.
Pretty cool how Danny Ainge swung that.
Dude, he is probably, but hands down, probably the best GM. Cutthroat, but
you're right.
The best.
I worried that future NBA execs would be reluctant to make a deal with him. They're like, wait. What are you seeing that I'm not seeing?
100%.
He swapped with Philly. They took Markelle Fultz. We took Tatum at 2, and we got a trade out of that. And we knew that they didn't want Tatum at 1. It was a stroke of genius, honestly.
Fultz, obviously, for injury reasons.
Yeah, unfortunate.
But
he's in Orlando now,
but you don't hear much of it.
Tatum has really carved his way to being the potential franchise player we've been looking for post Pierce's departure.
So you have Tatum, who you like.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown.
Love. Jaylen Brown, probably not as consistent. One of the biggest issues we have.
But he's explosive.
He's explosive. Right. Dunk competition. He'll really put asses in seats. People are going to want to watch.
Yes.
He's box office. But can you rely on him? Is he
not
the face of the franchise?
Not as Tatum.
Not as Tatum.
Yeah. Tatum is all round.
He's all rounder. And really, the best nickname I heard of him being Jay Smooth is just so appropriate for the kind of way he carries himself on the court. I don't know if you saw the way he pulls back. I mean, it's just so
amazing with the step back
at the rim, at that.
Amazing.
We were just one player short. So the Heat have a solid power forward in Adebayo.
Yes,
Adebayo.
yeah.
We need a player like that, an enforcer, a Markieff or Marcus Morris. One of those big boys that will really lay down the law.
Yeah, so someone dirty.
Tice is a solid second string center.
Yeah. Oh,
he's not your number 1.
No.
And that's the piece that we need to shop for this summer.
Hopefully.
You have Kemba. Solid,
so
although he didn't really have an impressive.
So Kemba or who was the one before?
Kyrie.
Yeah, I mean the talent obviously Kyrie.
I'll take Kemba because he comes with less antics.
One and probably more better as a team player.
For sure.
Right.
For sure.
Like a floor general.
Players didn't enjoy playing with
Kyrie. Right? The ball was always
me, myself, and Skip Bayless always me, myself, and Kyrie. Me, myself, and Kai.
Skip Bayless.
So, but he got it on that one.
Yeah.
It really is all about me, myself, and Kyrie.
Yeah.
So I'll take Kemba Walker as an all-round player. Chemistry was good. He, he made other people. He facilitated.
Yeah.
He never dropped, over 30 points in the playoffs.
Solid trade.
But
solid trade.
Solid. I bought into Kemba more than I did with him.
Solid. Very solid.
And it was his first year. I think second year you'll see a better version of Kemba.
If you get that center.
We need that center.
Yeah. You definitely need that center.
I don't know who. I like the guy in Brooklyn, Kadeem Allen.
I don't know, but Brooklyn don't want to let go of anyone.
Probably not.
No.
Like I would have taken like a DeAndre Jordan,
he's
a
up
presence in there.
He's up there.
I think we went too small ball a la Rockets, and it didn't work out for them. It didn't work out for us. But a lot of
you have a good setup. You have a good setup.
And listen, whoever wins the championship this year, I mean, if this is not the hardest road to a championship with everything we've gone through in 2020,
Then
what on earth is?
it's like Liverpool winning the league after
For
30
example,
years, right?
dude,
You're a
that's
Liverpool fan,
amazing.
right?
No, I'm not a Liverpool fan, but I applaud the franchise and what they did, and well deserved. And if you ask me as a Chelsea fan, who has the best supporters in the league, I would say Chelsea. No, I'm kidding. I'd say
My heart dropped.
I'd say Liverpool. Name me another team in the league that stand up as if they're singing a national anthem with both hands up in the air, holding that scarf, "You'll Never Walk Alone," every day when they come out home or away. No other team does
Goosebumps.
that. Okay, it gives me goosebumps, and Liverpool is the enemy. But I have an appreciation and respect for that club because I think they have the best fans in the Premier League.
So one thing before we move on from sports is
No,
you have to you have to give credit to Chelsea this year. You've got a fantastic. You recruited well.
Yeah, recruited very well, right?
Very well.
I'm just following what we say
Exciting,
on the Chelsea
right?
group, but you as a non-Chelsea fan, you saw what happened.
So one is Frankie has to, change hearts instead of putting him in the middle.
Yeah.
Should have put him up front a bit.
Yeah.
You got Ziyech to come back.
Yeah.
Right. You got Werner, who was amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
A little underwhelming in the first two games, but
That's okay.
he needs to jump.
Right.
Yeah.
You got a new keeper, which was key.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I think just the defense in Silva. Thiago is too old for a Premiership.
Yeah, a little too. He's 35, right?
36.
36?
He's like our age. Well, obviously, he's a professional footballer, but
still, there's a lot of miles on that
a
clock.
lot of miles.
Not everyone's a LeBron James.
LeBron is different. So
he is.
you went to New Hampshire as a young kid,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Tilton,
18.
18.
Sorry,
No,
16. I did
16.
2 years. I graduated there.
So like
18.
me, I
Yeah.
went when I was
16.
15.
Damn, it was cold, man.
New Hampshire was colder than Connecticut.
Wow.
For sure.
Yeah.
You're a goalkeeper,
I did. I played 2 years there, varsity level.
right?
That was my sport.
Yes, being a goalie.
Goalie,
Right.
yeah. I played it from the age of 6 over here. And I just loved that when I left Saudi, just how serious they took it.
Oh, there?
England, maybe not so much because it was more rugby.
Right.
But when I got to the States, I thought that soccer or football is in the UK.
Right.
I didn't think that they take it seriously in the US. We had like 3 coaches for the varsity team, 2 trainers, a water boy. Okay. Like this is unheard of. The rugby team in England, which is their bread and butter, rugby being the sport, didn't even have that. They took it super serious. Like at halftime, I'd have someone come up to me and tell me my stats.
Yeah.
I'm like, what? What's happening here? So I had no idea that soccer, especially in the Northeast
Yes.
and Florida and California, they take it very
Yeah.
seriously.
By the
So
way,
that was-
my stats when I played, I didn't play varsity soccer.
Yeah.
I played JV. So my stats was, Omar, you're like 6 or 7 times offside. Do you not understand the rule?
You striker?
I was a striker. And then they pushed me back to the wing. And obviously when you play in Saudi, we didn't have offside. You just cherry pick in
Nothing.
front of the goal.
Yeah.
So my stats
True.
were always like how many times I was offside.
Yeah.
So you graduated, right?
Yeah.
From New Hampshire, from Tilton, and you went to a school in Boston, right? You went to university.
Yeah. I did 2 years there.
Okay.
And then this was around 2004.
Right.
Came back here. Visa had just expired. Came to renew my visa, and was told it's not happening. So they were like a little strict on which visas they wanted to renew and which visas they didn't want to renew, as you can understand.
Yeah.
So Muhammad, Islam,
It was just name.
C pluses. Why are you really there?
Yeah.
So
they looked at that.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I saw the
Okay.
transcript.
Okay.
So like I tried to appeal. I was like, so the guy was like, sorry, I'm not going to renew it. Then I appealed, like, but you guys, I'm above the minimum requirement. And then it was a technicality. We can't reverse the decision that was made. Yes, you are right. You should not have been refused. But we have to stand by the decision that was made on the day. But we'll be happy to issue a tourist visa.
No,
So remember, I got a tourist visa and went that summer, and then moved to Dubai after that, which was nice.
So you went to Dubai when it was really happening, right?
05, yeah.
05.
Jan 05.
So tell us about, it was happening. It wasn't like you're going to somewhere mundane. It was.
Oh, it was great because it gave me it was very reminiscent of life in the US
Okay.
or UK, while being close to home, having a pulse on what's happening regionally. So really, like I even talked about this on the podcast a few times. it bridged the gap between East and West.
What Dubai did.
Dubai, absolutely. Like any of my cousins that moved back to Saudi and they're like, oh my God, it's tough here. It's different living with the parents and all that. They're like, get a job in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yep. Update
At that
your
time.
CV.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send it to me. There are a bunch of websites you can use that, like for, that companies go to so they can see, for to fill vacancies, and get yourself a job in Dubai. It will, you're a 2 hours flight away from home. And our city is furthest from Dubai. So if you lived in the east coast of Saudi, you're a 30-minute flight.
Yeah.
So everything that you miss out west, you'll find in Dubai.
Absolutely.
While being a 2-hour flight away from your folks.
Yeah.
And I can count 6 or 7 cousins who have moved and they have lived happily ever after.
Yeah. But you came back.
I came back.
Okay.
After 5 years there.
All right.
And the first couple of years was tough.
Just adjusting.
Adjusting. It was about a year or two. But then you know what? You find your happy place here. You get to your rhythm. If you want to start yourself a little business, you get sucked into wanting to make the most out of your time over here.
What was the biggest change? Did you find a change from the US to Dubai, or was it kind of just like seamless?
That was seamless.
That was seamless.
Moving back here wasn't.
What was the challenge?
My group of friends.
That you had there?
The closest group of friends that I made for 5 years there.
Right.
They were all there, and I moved back here.
So you had to build a new set of, not a new set of friends, but you just waited for them to move back.
But half of them lived there, like they're either locals or they lived there all their lives. But not only that, I'm like, probably one of the hardest things is over there, you can just easily make plans. You can just go out on a social level. Over here, it'll require an email chain that's 3 days in the making. RSVPs. Creating something fun was a lot more effortless over there.
Yeah.
And over here, a lot more infrastructure goes into planning something.
That's true.
And because it's so difficult, you just do it less, and thus do less. And end of the day, it was just easier living over there.
So that brings me to the next question. The Mo podcast, right? The Mo show.
Mo show.
Right? The Mo show. From what I understand, and from I usually don't read the premise. I kind of just want to watch and I kind of get the feeling. But it is a lot about how Saudi has changed, right? And it is about you, or from what I understand, is you kind of bridging that gap, speaking a language that is kind of more comfortable to you, right? You think in English, translate into Arabic, right? So tell me, man, what was it that really pushed you into action to the Mo Show? What is it all about?
Okay, so I've been watching a lot of Joe Rogan.
Okay,
recently.
yeah.
Actually, my brother sent me a YouTube clip about a year ago.
Okay.
And it was an interview with this guy called Naval Ravikant. Forgive me for not being able to pronounce his last name. But I've never had a clip change the way my brain operates as much as this guy, Naval. He's just like a machine of quotes to live by.
Wow.
Every other thing he says is a head scratcher. He's a futurist. He's and by day he's an angel investor. He runs one of the biggest angel investment firms out in Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
And by night he's a life coach, a futurist, a person who just sees life in a different way. So he sent me this clip, and I had no idea who Joe Rogan was a year and a half ago or a year ago. And Joe went to speak about how podcasting changed his life and how the reach of podcast as a media, if you have quality content, can reach people all over the world.
True.
You just have to concentrate on the quality, and people can tune in, from wherever. Whereas 15 years ago, you'd be at the mercy of whoever lives within the confines of the city you're in, or as far as the radio frequency will reach.
True. That's true.
So the game has changed. And sorry if I'm going to talk about this for a little bit.
No, go ahead.
But it's really something that's so profound that I'm so passionate about right now. 15 years ago, you wouldn't be able to reach that kind of audience, but now you can reach such a bigger group of people. And secondly, mainstream media has always been agenda backed. Today, your podcaster works for himself.
Yep.
He's not involved in board meetings. He doesn't have to, speak to legal or speak to production or speak to, anyone involved with that. It's basically just him. And it's funny because even 2 months ago, Joe Rogan had Bill Maher, comedian.
Bill Maher.
Honestly, one of the best three. I didn't think I could sit through a 3-hour video podcast.
Was it cool, huh?
It was excellent. And they go on a 20-minute rant about this. And Bill Maher's like, listen, up-and-coming podcasters, no matter what they say, we want to we're going to put you in touch with these people. We want to buy, 51% of your podcast, and we'll put you in touch with this guy and that guy. Do not do it. Be patient. Your time will come. These people just want to screw you over. Joe Rogan talks about how the amount of times major corporations, household names in major corporations, all the NBCs and the ABCs, all the abbreviations you can imagine, have come to him with offers to buy. And he was just like, get out of my face, get out of my face. No. So what? So that you involve me with this and that, and I can't say that, and I can't say that. So that's why podcasts took off in the last 10 years, because it was more real and transparent.
It was real.
What you're saying, you're most probably not being told what to do by the network.
Yeah.
Okay, the odd, promo here and product placement here,
That's fine.
You're sipping a Coke. Somebody needs to fund the production.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's not going to change the narrative of what's being said in the podcast. And that's why it's just gone through the roof. And as you know, regionally here, we're always a couple of years behind what's happening. When they had HD TV, it took us 5 years. And now at 4K, it took us for us, to reach that level. Podcasting is no different. I mean, in the States for the past decade, it's been happening. It's been,
true.
All over the place. And in Saudi, the last time I did research, were between 10 and 15 Saudi Arabic podcasters.
Yes.
So I was like, hold on one second. English, it's the language I think in. In my day job, I process everything in Arabic, but then I have to translate it into English and then reprocess it in Arabic. All right, I'm grateful for the 10 years that I've worked over here, and my Arabic is now, up here. But still, I think in English.
Right.
And podcasting is, a booming industry, and our country is so misunderstood. Let me be the voice of explaining to people who aren't from Saudi, what's really happening here. The world has only heard from Saudi on a diplomatic level.
Yeah.
Has the world ever heard from Saudi from the man on the street?
So now this is it. Now you're talking about the man on the street, right? Like the regular Saudi, the regular Joe. Yeah. What goes on in everyday kind of Saudi life that no one except Saudis probably, or whoever visit know. And you've had some really cool. You're up to episode 4, right?
Yeah, we just shot 4, last week.
Right, so now 3 people can see 3.
3, yeah.
And the fourth
first half of 3 has been released last Wednesday, 16th, I think it was. And this upcoming Wednesday, I want to say October 1st, if I'm not mistaken, we're releasing the second half of Raha's episode.
Right.
Raha is the first female to summit Everest. So it was a great podcast, very entertaining lady. She has some incredible stories that she reveals about Everest. And so her second part reveals, it was 2 hours. Dude, I never thought, the first episode was 25 minutes. The second one was 34. That's the range I wanted to be in. But with Raha, we shot 2 hours and 10 minutes, and I could only trim it down to 2 hours.
But if it's interesting,
if it's interesting, keep it.
Yeah.
So the person I work with, the editor, was like, how about you split it into 2? I was like, genius, because I don't want to cut anything out.
No.
These are gems.
I think an hour like podcast, 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's max.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that in future, I can be in that range.
All of them, all 4. Mom Harrag was the first,
right?
Yeah,
Mashhoor was the second. Raha third, and then Dania Aqil, the first Saudi motorcycle superbike.
Champion.
Not champion, but participant. She got involved in a league in the UAE and in Bahrain, and now she has her eyes set on furthering her career in superbikes. Sorry, but this is all new to me as well. Saudi females, bless them, they just started driving legally. Motorcycle, superbikes, okay? It's the one where you're leaning on a gas tank and your kneecap is scraping on the floor.
Absolutely.
Not to sound ignorant or sexist, but it's a very male-dominant sport. It's scary, it's dangerous.
It's scary for anyone. Yeah, definitely.
And there is a MotoGP, which is the global league of it's like F1 but for
Yeah.
superbike. There is a female version of that, and they're all pretty much European, Scandinavian,
Yes, yeah. It's Scandinavian, a lot of
American, they're there.
Scandinavian. Yeah, yeah.
So the fact that we have
A Saudi.
a Saudi girl who I'm blessed to be related to, I'm so proud of her that she's doing that, because it is scary.
It is.
You really need
It
courage
is
getting
scary.
on
Yeah.
one of those bikes, going 140
Have you?
kilometers on a turn. I owned a bike like that
Yeah.
in Boston.
Yeah.
So I know what I'm talking about. It's scary on the street, which should be the last place anyone should ride. But you're not pushing it to its limits on the street.
No,
On the
you can't-
track you
can't.
are.
Yeah, yeah.
And buddy, it's like, I just bless her, God protect her.
Definitely God
And
protect
she
her.
also just recently suffered a small injury.
Yeah.
But as she says, you know what? She said that she needed that injury just to get her in check.
Yeah.
You're pushing it a bit too much.
Yeah.
Let's not be reckless. So alhamdulillah, I
No,
think big
but
things
God,
to come for her.
inshallah, bless her, inshallah, and we wish her and everyone really on your show and every Saudi that's really, going out there and trying to change and get to where they want to be, the best. And I think now you have also Delma Mahlas, who was the first Saudi equestrian, right?
Yeah.
Or Olympian, right?
I'd love to get her on the show, actually.
In horseback riding.
Yeah. Very impressive.
Yes, very,
Yeah.
very impressive.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot going on.
More than we know.
More than we know.
Trust me, more than we know.
And there's a lot of interesting people, hopefully, that we
Yeah.
can meet.
Yeah. We
So
just never had a platform to exhibit the talent we have. They were like hidden gems.
they are hidden. Well, they're still hidden gems in a way. They're still
They
hidden
are.
gems. And I'm sure you're doing a very good job of uncovering them,
We
right?
can reveal,
Reveal them one by one.
Absolutely.
And then more and more and
It's
more
our
and more.
responsibility.
It is. It is.
To show the world our homegrown talent that we have.
So that's the premise of the Mo Show. That's where you want to take it.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing you have so many more interesting people to come on.
Yeah,
and,
I've worked hard on the pipeline. I have about 19 people lined up.
Okay.
So we've done 4. We shoot 5 this weekend. And I'm just trying to stay consistent with a rhythm that every Saturday I shoot. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we edit and translate. And then Wednesday night, that's like my day where I release it. So I have a bunch of people on Thursday lunch. They take a picture of their lunch by their office, on their desk with the motion on their iPad.
I saw that. It was
And
Gareth. Was
Gareth and my cousin Waleed.
Was it lunch? Was it lunch and the Mo Show?
It was lunch and
or was
the
it
Mo
breakfast
Show.
and the Mo
No,
Show?
it was lunch.
Lunch and the Mo Show.
Yeah, I'm like, you know what? If I can offer that slot for people where they're used to something that they can look forward to before the weekend, being Thursday, the last day of the week,
yeah.
they have that. I'm gonna do my best to like churn out an episode every week, and until I drop that.
Why not?
Joe Rogan does it every day. All right. Why can't I do it?
I mean, listen. I mean, if there's a passion to it, you really, you seem to enjoy it, right? And this, as you said, podcasting now, the biggest challenge is the idea and the content, right? The rest of the equipment, you can shoot it on an iPhone, really,
Absolutely.
and you can buy like a $100 good mic or Yeti or whatever, and you're ready to go. Really,
Absolutely.
there's nothing more to it.
Absolutely.
So it's just content, and I think I think not only a good start, I think you're really ahead, and you've kind of taken. It's not like just a show. You really understand it, and you have a passion for it. So inshallah, all the best
Appreciate it,
of luck.
I really appreciate that.
So now you came back to Saudi, you got married, and then you became a dad.
Yeah.
So before we go into that, you lost your father.
I did.
You were young? Or?
Yeah, I was 21.
Oh, so not
And
still a young man.
yeah. Well, at the time, even now, I mean, it felt like I was very young.
Right.
It was between my transition from US to Dubai.
Okay.
Getting my visa rejected meant I was here for 2 months,
Okay.
one summer.
Uh-huh.
And it's funny how, the way, God works.
Yeah.
If my visa was renewed that day at the
You would've
embassy,
been-
I would have been back in the States away from my dad when he was on his deathbed. All right.
Was he?
So yeah, he was a smoker for 50 years, and I saw him struggle,
Uh-huh.
and if anyone smokes, I would ask them to consider quitting, because I saw and I heard sounds coming out of my father that keep me up at night. 15 years later, because of cigarettes. it's just not worth it. And if you can take one thing from what I've said today on this interview, would be take care of your health. And if you smoke, it does cause cancer. And so what I've learned from losing my father at a young age is that I'm alone now. It's I'm in charge of myself. What I do is ultimately my reputation. And if anything, it's my mom who I'm going to have to start taking care of. My two sisters who I'm going to start taking care of. I have to, on some level, attempt, to do the most difficult thing I ever had to do, which is attempt to fill my father's shoes to some degree.
Are you the oldest?
I am the youngest.
You're the youngest.
Yeah, but I had to contribute somehow.
Yeah.
No doubt that my older brother carried the whole load. But
you contributed a little bit earlier than you
with
when
my
you
mom,
would...
emotionally being there with her.
Yeah.
But my older brother had to carry the entire weight of my dad's absence. And I think if you ask him today, he'll tell you it was the hardest thing he ever had to do.
I'm sure.
But looking at it from the bright side, it helped me be the man I am today.
Right.
Because I didn't rely on anyone from the age of 21. And at 36, I don't think I would have been the same person I am today, having not lost my father at a young age. So, it makes you, battle tested. We learn from hard. We don't learn from easy.
No. I think that's the silver lining.
Yeah.
And I think, obviously losing your dad, it's a big thing. And I've been with people or kids who've lost them at a younger age or even your age, and it's always tough. It's very hard. It's not easy. They have a real, it's a big gap. Yeah. But as you said, you took chances, obviously, as when you had responsibility, but then you had a little bit of financial freedom as well, which you probably took some risks, right? Maybe you wouldn't have if this situation hadn't, but you've learned from it.
Definitely.
Right? You've learned from them, and you've had some successes with, maybe a lot of successes with some of the startups you invested in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's always
positive.
Good. It's a positive.
Yeah.
Now you're a dad, right? You have a cute kid.
Yeah. 3 years old.
3 years old.
Yeah.
So he's beyond the terrible two. But
yeah.
The terrible two is a misconception because it goes beyond. It goes beyond, right? It goes beyond. But it's always a blessing. It's always cool.
Yeah.
What was your feeling when you became a dad?
Just instant happiness, really. I enjoyed the responsibility. I enjoyed, watching him grow, teaching him. It was. I feel like it's really when my life started. This is what I've been put on the earth to do. Everything before that is whatever, man. It didn't amount to anything.
Yeah.
But for the 3 years that I've been fortunate enough to be a dad, I just felt that God gave me that little, extra
motivation.
In me, to be a father, the capabilities to be a father. And it just feels effortless. When something feels effortless, like you do so well in it, anything you're passionate about. And I'm passionate about being a father, and it's a privilege to be a father. And
what's the best part of being a dad?
Putting a smile on my son's face.
Yeah. Which is not hard.
No, it's not.
Right?
It's not at all.
It's effortless at that age.
Is. Yeah, it really is. And if you put time aside and spend it with them, that's all they want. For you to get down on the ground and play with them. It's free. All it costs you is your time. And nothing is more important than that. And it pays dividends when you walk into the house, from a day at work or whatever, and he drops everything, he or she drops everything, and they come running at you, because of all those times, compounded of you playing with them. It's just...
That brings the fun.
You can't put a price on
it.
Right?
That brings the fun.
Yeah.
And do you feel more that, as we grow, and as being a kid, right, you do anything, you can be silly, you can be, and at that age, and as being a kid, you're always, nothing's on your mind. You just, anything goes, right? Yeah. And I think as adults, I feel that we lose that a bit, because you have to do this and you have to act like this. And if you're a dad, you have to do this. And if you're at work, you have to do this. But with the kids, or everything is game.
Yeah.
Everything is okay. There's no judgments. You can be silly, and does that
Yeah.
does that how you feel? Is it a good feeling to?
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, almost like there's no rules, or make your own rules.
Yeah.
Just have fun responsibly. If whatever we do puts a smile on his face and then ultimately put a smile on my face, then that's good. That's one in the win column.
What's your favorite game that you play with your kid?
It's got to be hide and seek. He wants to play whenever he gets the chance.
Right.
And if it's not hide and seek, it's going into a car, any car, starting it, reversing it until the end of the driveway, which is the time he needs to get into his car seat. But it's moments like that he just absolutely loves. I mean, if there was any confirmation that I needed that he's 100% my child, it's the fact that he's into cars more than me, which I didn't think it would be possible for anyone to be into
And
cars
giraffes.
And giraffes.
And giraffes. Does he have a name, the giraffe?
No, we didn't
Not
name
yet.
anything yet. Yeah,
Not yet. Not yet.
It's a blank canvas.
It's
for
a
now.
blank canvas. So, so that's always good.
Yeah, yeah.
That's always good.
Honestly, it's the best. And you know what? I'm not done. Like, I'd like to have, maybe one more, maybe a girl. It's funny. I wanted my first child to be a girl.
Yeah. So did I, by the way. But
alhamdulillah.
alhamdulillah, all good. Yeah, all good.
Which is a bit un-Saudi of me, if we can call a spade a spade. Everyone always wants the boy to carry the family name.
Hey man,
I actually wanted a girl.
Daddy's boy,
Yeah.
I mean, they take care of you
They do.
later on in life.
They do.
So no, but inshallah, Allah
Inshallah.
blesses you with a girl.
Yeah.
And more, whatever you wish for.
Be happy with two.
We're happy.
Yeah. Happy with
It's
two.
getting a bit expensive.
Yeah, a lot of uncertainty. In the
A lot
world
of
right
uncertainty.
now.
A lot of uncertainty.
But yeah.
And any sports he's into, or any sports you want to get involved with him in?
I definitely want to get him into soccer, football,
Yeah.
running around. He enjoys basketball.
Nice.
He's been, throughout the years, I've been, getting him basketball, and one of his first words was basketball.
Right.
So, anything that involves him being outside, breaking a sweat, because, a healthy body, healthy mind,
Yeah.
and vice versa. He's really, I can't stress it enough, really into cars. And he looks Scandinavian. So maybe, with his looks and his abilities, he can be Saudi's first Formula E driver.
Why not?
I'll send him to Finland and train there. He'll mesh well with them.
Oh, you better send some jackets.
And he likes the cold like me.
He likes the cold.
Yeah.
Huh?
But his mom isn't too fond of this. Him being a race car
Of
driver. But
course.
he wants to be, like he told me, he wants to be that. And the sport has gotten safer over the years.
Yes.
And if that's what he wants to do, then I think it's us to help them reach the goals they want to, give them the tools they need.
Because that could be their play.
You never know.
You never. Some
Yeah.
people reading is their play. This is their play, and if that is his play, inshallah, he becomes the best.
Absolutely.
Why Formula E?
Absolutely.
Why Formula One?
Yeah, I just worry that the combustion engines, almost at the end of its road.
Probably
Yeah.
going to be, it's going to be
Hence,
like
probably.
electric,
Yeah.
and you won't hear anything be like.
Hence, the rise of Formula E,
The E,
which
Formula
is
E.
owned by Formula One, by
Yeah,
the
of
way.
course they just
Yeah,
wanna,
so they just wanted
either which
exactly
one.
have a hand in each.
Oh, this one goes. It's
Yeah,
okay. I
yeah,
got
yeah.
this one.
They obviously acknowledged what's to come, and they wanted to be the first to market. With their clout in the industry.
Yeah.
Let me be there. Super smart move by them. But yeah, I mean, even from the age of 1, Omar, okay, he'd get into a car and on turns he'd get so close to the wall. First time I thought it was fluke,
But then,
but then he kept doing it, and I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna, and he times it like he's very aware of the dimensions of the car. And I'm telling my wife, I'm like, Sada, our boys, we're sending him to Finland. He's going to be a great car driver.
it is
innate.
Yeah, there is raw talent, right? And then obviously you have to establish that. But that's what that distinguishes great athletes or performers from. And then obviously he has to put in the work. But
Exactly. I would rather the soccer route.
You rather
just something that you're not going 200 miles an hour in.
We can go 200 miles like as a runner.
I'll take that.
Yeah, like a Mo Salah.
200 miles an hour, and you're 100 meters away from a turn.
Is a bit.
I'd rather his boots on the ground.
On the ground.
Yeah.
So, so I'm happy. You know, this is I think the major thing is now obviously with kids at home, parents are not having the time, and it's being that. But I like what you said about, you know, all they want from us is our time, and I think, you know, not to fault any parent, but I think we have abundant time, really, if you want to break it down.
Absolutely.
And, you know, the more we spend with them,
We're not all hedge fund managers.
no. Even
you know?
hedge fund managers have time.
Everyone
has time.
For your kids, yes, you do.
Yeah, you know, I think everyone has time.
Actually, the world has changed a little bit with COVID. Okay, more people working remotely. Meetings have become online.
Yeah.
So even now, more than ever, I'm not buying anyone who says I don't have time for my
To
children.
be honest, if you think about it, you know, you can work efficiently and really achieve effectively within 4 or 5 hours.
Oh yeah.
Right? The 8 hours, the 9
Yeah.
hours, the 12 hours. Yeah, okay, yeah. If you're building something in the beginning, but over time, it is, you know, that's all you really need is to really focus on what you want to do, get it done quick, because as you said, now there's no time. You just want to get through it and hopefully be with family and build something amazing, right?
For sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So before we let you go,
No, please don't feel like you have to. I'm enjoying this.
I love it.
Very
I love
much.
it. We would love more, you know, more and more.
It's comfortable couches.
Yeah. This is, you know, my mom's couch, Mackenzie. You know,
It is very.
it is comfy, right?
I'm yet to sample the coffee, so I'm happy to be here for a little.
Oh,
bit.
no worries. The coffee.
Some Arabic coffee.
So there's two things. Now you said you're a ball player, right? Basketball player.
Basketball, yes, like a recreational.
Yeah, right. I mean, we're not pros, right?
Yeah, no, I'll shoot that elbow.
You
shot
shot that
you.
elbow.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That J.
Especially on you.
Yeah. Okay, that's where I was going with this, right? So, you know, let us know. Now, I think we should have maybe a live game of horse
Okay.
or one-on-one. What do you think?
I'm down.
You're down?
With my torn meniscus, yeah, I'm ready.
Well, man, I got 2 torn ankles, so we're good to go. We got two.
Do you
Two
really?
that-
You had an injury?
Well, I got a lot of injuries.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
a lot of injuries.
I had one a year ago where I snapped my
Yeah.
meniscus in a shop with my son, and it just ballooned in like 15 minutes and hasn't recovered since.
Yeah, I have a chipped knee here. And the doctor said, like, you know, if you playing hard and you want to get back to playing hard, do something. But if you're not, then I'm like,
Then chill.
yeah.
Avoid surgery. at all costs.
For me, it's avoid surgery at all costs.
Yeah.
But you want to do that?
What?
A live horse game or
Sure.
a one-on-one?
Yeah. I mean, where?
We can schedule something.
Yeah, I'm down.
The SkipyDoo Dad Talk against the Mo.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's schedule that.
I am more than ready to do that.
All right.
Yeah.
So,
But you need to practice a little bit
no, I'm good,
before
man.
we start.
I'm good.
All right.
I'm good. I maybe lost a little bit of my speed, but I'm good, man.
A horse is not about speed.
No, it's not. It's not about speed.
So you might flourish.
Yes. And we might actually invite a good friend of mine, Mo Shobain, who is a professional basketball player.
Okay.
Plays for Ittihad. So to make it more interesting,
Yeah. All right.
we should invite Mo.
Why not?
We should invite Mo to the show.
Yeah.
So before we go, we want to play a game with you that we play on SkipyDoo.
Okay.
It's called the Ducky Clucky Show.
Okay.
Not show, game.
Cool.
And basically, you have to say ducky every 5. So it's one. So I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4, ducky.
Cool.
6, clucky. Then 10 would be ducky. 14 would be clucky.
Okay.
Right? So you see where this is going.
Okay.
Let's see how far we can go together.
Okay.
Got it? You got it?
I got it, but I don't know how good I'm going to be.
I'm not good at math.
Okay.
So I played this with my boys. They beat me all the time.
Okay.
So
Okay. So do you start? or
I'll
do I
start.
Okay.
1,
2.
3.
Okay. Let's start again.
Okay.
Am I going on every 5 or every 4?
Every 5 and every 7.
5 and 7. Yeah.
5 and 7.
Okay. Go.
1,
2,
3,
4,
ducky,
6,
clucky.
7.
No, that's wrong.
Oh my God.
We'll do it again one more time for Mo.
Oh my God.
By the way, man, if you win this, or if you let's see if we can get beyond 30,
Okay.
you get a Celtic memorabilia as a gift from SkipyDoo to you.
Wow. Okay.
So let's shoot for 30.
Okay. Let me concentrate.
Let's,
All right. Go.
all right. 1,
2,
3,
4,
ducky.
5.
No, man. I
Wait,
said ducky. 6. Okay, we'll let that go.
Yeah.
Clucky.
7.
No, 8.
Dude, I can't. My brain is just not
Brain is-
functioning right now.
One more try.
Why can't I do this?
So let's say every 5. Let's forget the 7.
Okay.
Let's do every 5.
5.
Okay.
Every 5. Fine.
1,
2,
3,
4,
ducky.
6,
7,
8.
9,
Clucky.
ducky. It's okay.
Cluck.
No, ducky.
The first one's ducky.
Let's keep it ducky because it's every 5. We took away the 7.
Ah, okay.
Let's keep it ducky.
Okay.
So you said ducky.
Cool.
Okay. 11,
12,
13,
14,
ducky.
16,
17,
18,
19,
ducky.
21,
22,
23,
24,
ducky.
26,
27,
28,
29,
ducky.
31.
That's your Celtics
Yes, the Celtics memorabilia.
memorabilia. Got there in the end.
So that's a game you can play with your son. It's
That's nice. I like that.
actually
I like
learned that in acting class.
Okay.
And it's all about focus. And it really does. It's really fun.
Next time you have me on, let's go for the varsity version.
The varsity
The
with the
every 3
clucky.
and 7. Yeah, that just uses a different part of your brain.
Yeah, I think.
I think my brain's been awake since 6 a.m. That's why, not to make excuses.
It is a slight excuse, but we'll let it go. We'll let it go. We'll let it go, Mo. Mo, man, it's really been a pleasure having you
man,
on
for
the show.
I appreciate it. I love
yeah.
what you're doing here. This is
No,
fun.
no, we love your show. We're big supporters
Thank you.
of what you're doing.
Thanks a lot.
Don't forget to give us a shout out.
No, I definitely will. 100%, man. Definitely.
Right?
Thanks for having me.
No,
man.
definitely. Thank you, Mo.
All the best.
And
man.
we're gonna put everything about Mo, his podcast, and everything in the descriptions and somewhere in the banners,
Somewhere in the top.
somewhere in the top here. And we'll see you guys all later.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.